Welcome back to our channel, Truth Seekers. Today's going to be a little story kind of. So I'm going to share with you kind of how me following my authenticity led me to raw food, which then led me to change my life drastically. So it kind of started in the beginning. I always kind of felt like an alien. Like I kind of stood apart. I didn't really get along with the crowds or think the same way as everybody else. This always kind of kept me an introvert during high school and college. I was always sticking to myself, going out in nature, hanging out in the woods. Even as a kid, I played in the woods more than I played with friends or other humans. So that being said, out of high school, I always drew my whole life. I loved drawing. Didn't really know what I wanted to do for a career. I didn't know what my passion was other than drawing. So what I did know is that I followed my heart. And out of high school, I was persuaded to go into college, because my parents, being of a different time period, were more focused on, having me succeed and be successful, and I would say almost do like the more normal type routine, the more normal job, 9 to 5, or get like a degree. And, they were chasing security, not freedom. And that's what they grew up in a different time period. So people of that time period kind of pushed security more than financial freedom and following your heart and your dreams. That being said, I kind of stuck with my heart and my dreams. And out of high school, I went to nursing school. So I didn't really want to, but I was pressured by society and my family and peers to say, hey, you got to make something of yourself. You're not going to make it in art because no one makes money doing art, blah, blah, blah. I heard all that stuff. And I tried nursing school for 3 years. It was not the best. I went through it though. I'm very adaptable, and when I start something, I like to finish it. So I almost finished nursing school. I went for 3 years and it just wasn't me. I was working in the hospital setting already as a nurse aide, and it just wasn't resonating with me. I wasn't happy. I was drawing at work. My boss saw it and pulled me aside and was like, hey, is this really what you want to do? I see you doodling all your clients' papers and stuff. What's up? And it was about that time when I was like, hey, I got to do something else. I don't see myself being happy 20 years from now working in a hospital. It was just honestly depressing for me to be in that situation. I just did not resonate with it. I didn't like it. I just wanted to draw. So at the time, I was starting to get tattoos. So I had a few tattoos here and there. I had to hide them in the hospital when I was working. I was really passionate about it. I was in the tattoo shop, seeing how people lived, seeing how they made a living off of doing tattoos, and I thought it was awesome. I was like, how can people do this? This is like a pirate's life almost. Like you can make a lot of money just drawing on people, and that's all you got to do. So I was enthralled. So I pretty much burnt all bridges. After 3 years of nursing school, I was about to take my finals and pass and graduate and go into the field. I wanted to be a traveling nurse, but I quit. I was like, hey, I rather draw. I rather ditch everything I put into nursing and burn all the bridges and try this other path, and that was tattooing. So looking back now, I've been tattooing for 18 years. So after I ditched the nursing, I jumped into tattooing, got apprenticed, and started doing it on my own, and I haven't looked back since, and 18 years passed. And I thought it was really cool because I felt like I found my purpose. I was like, oh man, I'm helping people. I felt like I've always been here to help people, and I like the way people reacted to my drawings in school and just throughout life. Like they would light up and be like, man, this is so cool. And I liked how art could move people, and I was like, this is really cool. I can use art to take someone from more like a negative vibration to a positive, or a more, just like raise their vibration through art. I thought that was really cool. So when I started tattooing, I was like, this is even cooler, because people would get tattoos from me and say it's like therapy. They'd be like, man, I come to you just to like really just sit here and release the pain and talk to you. And a lot of my clients say it's more like therapy to get tattooed than anything else. It's better than therapy sometimes. And I thought this was so cool, because I was like, yeah, people were coming to me, and I almost look at it as like a little red light. They're coming and their light's red, and then when they leave with their tattoo, they're green. And this is because sometimes people are going through stuff like family stuff and life stuff. And sometimes they put a tattoo on them to like a memorial tattoo, like for a lost loved one. And there's so many reasons like tattoos can elevate the vibration and the soul and just lift people up. And I thought that was really cool. But 18 years of doing it, my health started to decline. And I was like, man, I never really looked into diets or anything at all. I was pretty much eating standard American. I was actually pretty bad off. Like I've dabbled in drug addictions. I've had addictions to certain pills and stuff like that. We can get into that later, but that all came with the tattoo territory. And I was living fast and wild. Like I would stay up late. I would drink a lot of alcohol. I pretty much do anything, and I wasn't eating the best, because if you imagine all that, you're not eating the best. So my health started to decline, and I'm 38. So I started noticing like health decline gradually, probably like 36, 37. And this was a surprise to me because I kind of lived my whole life thinking, oh man, nothing will happen to me, like felt invincible, always looked good for my age, so it felt like I just had good genes or something. But that's not the case all the time. Like your genes help, but what you put in your body is key. So my body was deteriorating. And this is when I found the truth about raw food, because like I say, I'm a truth seeker. I'm always looking for the truth. Grew up watching the X-Files. The truth is out there. And yeah, it stumbled upon me. Like I'll do another video on how I will say the Pleiadians led me to raw food. But we'll talk about that later. But basically the truth of raw food pretty much presented itself into my life. Like it just kind of threw itself out there. And when I started eating raw, more synchronicities and stuff like that started happening. Like the universe was always here to help me, and I noticed that throughout my life. But when I switched over and started eating more plant-based, the universe was there for me even more, like more so. Like I'm one that always sees angel numbers and notices weird, unique synchronicities, but this like doubled, almost tenfold, like when I went raw. So I like to say staying authentic led me to raw, because my whole life I thought outside the box. I didn't want to do what everybody else did. I kind of just didn't follow the rules, you know. That's why I became a tattoo artist, and I'm so glad I did, because I just feel like I keep turning over stones looking for the truth, and in doing that I found raw food. And now it's helped me in tattooing because I feel more confident, more empowered in my tattooing. I kind of had low self-worth before, probably because of my low vibration for all the toxins I've been putting in my body. But that low self-worth led to me not really making as much as I should. I wasn't charging adequately for my tattoos. So a cool thing about going raw is I got that confidence, I got that self-worth, and that led to me making more money. My income went up because I charged more, and people were ready to pay. They were ready to pay me the whole time. I had low self-esteem, and I was critical about my art. I'm an artist, so I know a lot of artists, like people will think my art's perfect, but I'll see the things in it that I'd like to fix. So I think that kind of mind state kept me like kind of lower and charging my prices lower. But since going raw, prices went up, people were fine with it, it's working very well. And we're so passionate about the raw food that I actually became a raw vegan coach, and now I'm here talking about it. And that just shows how passionate I am about the raw food and how it can change people's lives. I'm trying to change tattoo artists' lives, and basically anybody on this earth that can use help with plant-based foods, which I believe is everybody, because I was there. Unless you're already like eating raw plant-based, then hey, you're above me, and props to you, and you probably look really good for your age. But yeah, so being authentic kind of led me to raw food. And then when I started eating raw food, it's just like you become your highest version. I feel like there's a version inside of me that was kind of like dimmed out, like a light inside of me that was dimmed, and I wasn't living into my full potential. But eating raw food has helped me step into my full potential, and I can tell I'm still stepping into it. Like this is just the beginning. So I'm a year and a half raw, and I went through all these changes already, but I can tell it's just the beginning, because I like to say it's like you have to crawl out of the hole you dug yourself in, meaning like lifestyle, diet, that's the hole you dig yourself in, which puts you in a spot of low vibration, bad health, whatever it may be. And when you're detoxing and coming out of it, you pretty much have to crawl out of that hole. So you'll experience things through the detox, but it's all worth it because you really find your highest version through raw food. And that's pretty much it. I wanted to share with like how I found my highest version through eating raw food. And you can do it too. So if you're someone who feels like you stand out from the crowd, you think differently, you kind of feel like an alien, raw food may be for you, because yes, it's gonna, I don't want to say separate, because it doesn't separate you, it connects you a lot to nature, but it separates you from what everybody else is doing. And that's what I like, because everyone right now is kind of like hive mind. Everyone thinks and does the same thing, and I don't really like that. I feel like it's like the Twilight Zone, and people need to wake up and be their true versions. So raw food will get you there. It 100% will. And I know other people can do it with other ways, but I do tend to see that it all kind of like equal, like when you climb up to raw food. So like a lot of entrepreneurs are raw, vegan, or eat primarily raw food, and you might not know that, but it's kind of like the behind the scenes. And it's just something that comes with being your best version. I feel like you have to fuel your body with the best foods, and raw plant-based foods happen to be it. It's just biology. So when you really just step out of the cooked food matrix and eat more raw, you're going to see the changes. You're going to be more authentic. Your life is going to change. The trajectory of your life is going to change. Just like you're headed one way, but you eat raw food and it all changes. It goes a different direction, and it's a good direction. It's always a good direction. So I hope this video helped. If you're interested in eating some more raw food or just getting healthier by eating more plant-based, we'd love for you to grab our free transition guide. We'll put the link below. It has all the info you would ever need about this lifestyle. So you could try it a little bit, you could try it a lot, but there's a lot of info there and you might learn something. So grab the free guide. And if you want to join our membership, it's 75% off right now. You get access to us, you get the Juice Fast protocol, Q&As, a whole lot of stuff, weekly live streams. So we'll put the link for that below too. Thanks for watching. See you next time.